My neighbor's kid has been coming inside our house for 2 years, and we just found out his parents thought we were babysitting for free. Our neighbor's son, Jake, is 9. Our daughter, Lily, is 9. They've been best friends for 2 years. Jake is at our house 4 or 5 days a week. He rings the doorbell around 3:30 p.m. when school lets out. He takes his shoes off by the front door because my wife Rachel told him that's the rule once, and he never forgot. He says, "Hi, Mr. Miller. Hi, Mrs. Miller," every single time he walks in. He eats snacks with Lily, does homework at our kitchen table, sometimes stays for dinner, sometimes sleeps over on weekends. We never asked for anything. Not a dollar, not a thank you casserole, nothing. We thought we were being good neighbors. Jake is a sweet kid. He always says please and thank you. He holds the door open for my wife. He helps clear dishes without being asked. He's basically our second kid at this point, and we've loved every second of it. Last Tuesday, Jake's mom, Sarah, came to pick him up around 7 p.m. normal. She rang the doorbell. I opened it. She handed me an envelope and said, "Thank you so much for watching him today. I really appreciate it." I opened the envelope. $40 in cash. I said, "Sarah, I don't want money. They're friends." She laughed the kind of laugh people use when they're pretending something isn't awkward. "Oh, don't be silly. You're basically his daycare at this point. Take it. Daycare." The word landed weird. I didn't process it right away. I said, "Sarah, we're not his daycare. He's our daughter's best friend. We like having him over." She smiled, pushed the envelope into my hand and said, "Well, you watch him 5 days a week. That's not friendship at this point. That's babysitting. I know you'd never ask, so I'm just trying to do the right thing." She left. I stood in the doorway with $40 in my hand and a sentence in my head that wouldn't stop repeating. Babysitting. 5 days a week. I walked into the kitchen. Rachel was wiping down the counter. I said, "Sarah just paid me $40 to babysit Jake." Rachel stopped mid-wipe. "What?" "She thinks we've been babysitting him for 2 years. She said I'd never ask, so she was doing the right thing." Rachel put the sponge down. She didn't speak for about 10 seconds. Then she said, "Let me check something." She pulled out her phone, scrolled back through her messages with Sarah. 2 years of texts. Every single time Jake came over the previous year, Sarah had texted something like, "Thank you so much. I owe you," or "Thanks for helping out today," or "You're a lifesaver." We thought she was being polite. We thought she was expressing normal neighbor gratitude. She was keeping a tab. She was tracking hours in her head like we were an unpaid daycare she was slowly building up a debt with. Every thank you wasn't friendship. It was a receipt. I sat down at the kitchen table. Rachel sat across from me. Neither of us said anything for a minute. Then Rachel said, "Do you think she actually thought we were just watching her kid?" I said, "She must have." Then I remembered something. I said, "Wait, when does Jake eat lunch here on Saturdays?" Rachel said, "Always. Every Saturday he's here by 10 a.m. and he eats lunch with us." I said, "Has Sarah ever packed him a lunch or brought him food?" Rachel thought about it. "No, not once. Not once. In 2 years." Rachel and I looked at each other. Something else was happening here. I went and got Jake. He was on the couch watching a movie with Lily. I said, "Jake, buddy, can I ask you something?" He nodded. "When you come over to our house, does your mom know you're here?" He said,